again. We got Sal, we got FieldTalk Jess, and of course me, FieldTalk Benzi. So we're here to talk about the Match Day 7 recap. If you're here with us, welcome. If you're not, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, buenos dias, buenas noches, whatever you want to call it. So we have a lot of scores to go through. Well, just the typical amount of scores. And then we'll just hit up a couple topics that we want to discuss. And hopefully you guys enjoy. So stick with us. And we're about to get going. So anything that popped out to you guys this weekend? Or past weekend?
El Sacico.
El Sacico, bro. The battle of the shit shows has to be up top.
We're definitely gonna get to that.
The Everton City game was actually a lot better than the score shows.
Yes.
Agreed.
So that was kind of fun to watch. But other than that, I mean, can you really get past El Sacico, bro?
Not really.
I guess not. In terms of the Arsenal fan below me and the Man U fan to my right, my left. No, my
I'm somewhere
right.
in there. I'm in one of these corners. Yeah.
And then so we'll just get going. We'll start knocking off a couple scores. And if you guys have anything to say about this certain game, have at it. So first off, I think the first game that kicked it off this past weekend was Sheffield United and Liverpool. And Liverpool kind of gets away with that one in a close call and a 1-0 victory. Mm-hmm. It seems like Liverpool is slowly getting caught up to. Teams here and there are just kind of figuring out what they're doing, and the scores keep kind of dwindling down.
Yep.
I'm not sure if they're not attacking well. Who knows? Maybe we can get to it a little bit later. And then the next game that we have is Crystal Palace and Norwich. Since Norwich, beautiful shocker against Man City, they have now had 2 losses in a row. They lose to Crystal Palace 2-0. And then in the Villa-Burnley game, we have a tie 2-2. We go on to Bournemouth and West Ham. After West Ham beating Justin's lovely Man U, they end up with a tie against Bournemouth. And Wolves.
Finally.
Yes. Round of applause for Wolves. Finally get the 3 points. And they beat Watford, as everybody has, 2-0.
Not looking good for Watford.
Tottenham. I don't know how this happened, but they had a red card and they still win 2-1. They did not Spurs.
They didn't Spurs it.
And that was against Southampton, if you're wondering. And Chelsea, after the close comeback to Liverpool last weekend, they go and beat Brighton 2-0. And the game Justin was just earlier talking about, Man City and Everton, 3-1. I caught the second half, and yes, Justin, I agree. The scoreline does not speak justice to how the game went. And Leicester pulled a semi-Man City against Newcastle, and they come out with 3 points, winning 5-0. And the Sacico.
Yes.
Man U and Arsenal with the 1-1 draw to end the weekend as a whole. All right, so one thing that stuck out to me this weekend, and we can touch on it tomorrow night. And for those of you that don't know, UCL recap tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Just a little plug. Chelsea plays Brighton. I do not believe Pulisic sees the pitch again.
No, he's on the bench.
He's on the bench, doesn't see the pitch.
Nope.
We kind of hit on this last week because I brought it up, and I'm going to bring it up again. I'm going to bring it up every show that we don't see our man Pulisic that we need to see on the pitch. What is going on? Is it just he doesn't have what it takes, or is it Lampard English bias?
He got brought in by Chelsea without Lampard even knowing. That's not one of Lampard's boys. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, he has to make the decision. Am I going to stay at Chelsea or am I going to move on to another team? If he's not getting playing time, what's the point of even staying at Chelsea? If he's not getting playing time here by the winter transfer, I start asking, his dad is his agent, right?
I believe he is. Yeah.
I started asking Dad, hey, Dad, we need to get out of here somehow. Either go down to a championship team or go back
to Germany.
Germany, yeah. I mean, what else? What else is there really?
I don't know. I was definitely hoping that it wasn't any English bias. I mean, last time we talked about it, I was just saying maybe he just needs some time. We're gonna cover it tomorrow, but I mean, he wasn't even in the 11 for their Champions League game today. So whatever it is, it's bigger than what we think it is, because surely he's good enough to be on the bench, or he's good enough to come in and play some minutes. So from what I've seen, I don't watch Chelsea regularly, but from what I've seen when he's played, like I said previously, like he doesn't look like he's overwhelmed. It doesn't look like it's too much for him or anything like that. Like I don't understand how he can't, or how he isn't getting any minutes. And you know, previously I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but now I'm starting to think like if he's not going to get any game time, this is starting to get bad, because it sounds like it's becoming a trend now for him not to be at all in the lineup. He's 20 years old, man, needs to be playing at the highest quality, so continue to develop. So I don't know what's going on with Lampard. I mean, he sees them boys every day, so he's got to make the call. But as an American, it is kind of disheartening to see him not even get any chances. So
I mean, they got Chambers coming back too from injury, so that's another one who's going to be ahead of him on the pecking order. Willian is ahead of him on the pecking order. How can someone as old as Willian, who has probably seen his best days in the game, still picked ahead? There's no reason. The only explanation I can say at this point is he wasn't brought in by Lampard. Lampard doesn't want him. This is Lampard's way of saying, hey, we're going to do the Chelsea way and we're going to loan him out. Simple as that.
So the loan is something that can be thrown into play. Chelsea has the ban, but that doesn't affect them loaning out players or selling, right?
I don't believe it does.
I don't think it should, but
it's possible.
Yeah, we should look it up once we have a chance.
Yeah, when we get
because when you think about it, they did pay a good amount of money to get him from Dortmund. Then what we gotta assume, if we do, let's say the loan is a possibility, now we have to look into who's gonna pay his wages, because that's gonna be the thing that comes into play after a team shows some interest and they're like, yeah, we'll take Pulisic. He can get his time here, and then if he shows you guys what you guys want to see, if that's the case, they're gonna have to talk wages, and that could be an issue. And hopefully it isn't. Hopefully, I don't know. Bundesliga seems like a good place to go. I personally wouldn't mind seeing him in the second, in the English, in the second division, or Serie A. Yeah, I would be seeing place for him.
Those are good place to develop. But do you think that he moved to the Premier League too soon? Should he have stayed in Germany for maybe another year? He just turned 20, I think, right?
Yeah.
Should he have stayed at Dortmund longer? Or I mean, I was excited about him coming, but now I don't.
At Dortmund, he like when he first got there, like really young, he was a big hit, and then from what I recall, slowly he started getting less and less minutes. And then now with the team that Dortmund has built, I believe he even saw. Then you had Jadon Sancho last season
on fire, man.
So you sporadically saw Pulisic.
Yeah.
And then what's just sad is because I saw the Man U game because I was really hyped. I was like, oh, we're gonna see Pulisic. We'll probably see something of Pulisic. He comes in the second half. Didn't really get he got like 15, 20 minutes, something like that. I don't like what I saw.
Yeah, he played well in that game.
He played really good. He gave Chelsea a different dynamic. And then slowly it starts again. His time on the pitch is going down and down, and now he doesn't even make the bench, or he makes the bench and he doesn't even see the pitch. The only thing he sees is the pitch from the bench, and to us, that's not good.
Yeah.
We have what is it? The CONCACAF Nations coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're just gonna throw a cold Pulisic on the pitch. We don't know what he's gonna look like. Then again, he's playing crap teams, but whatever. That doesn't matter. It's just the fact that he's not getting any time, and we got to start like a what is it called? A campaign.
Whatchamacallit? Now I was gonna say GoFundMe, but what's the other one? The one where you
Oh, you do a petition or something?
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
What is it called though? I forget what it's called. But I know what you're
forget.
talking about.
I signed a couple petitions in my day.
Yeah.
I know I've done it before. So we have to start something because I've seen it. I've seen it from other people I follow on Twitter. Like people, like especially the American followers, they don't like the fact that Pulisic is not getting a pitch, and the fact that I've seen it so much this past weekend kind of made me feel like I had to bring it up again. And like I said, I'm just going to continuously bring it up.
No, of course.
You know, I'm kind of feeling that Nike, since he's one of their star players, wanted him on a Nike branded team at this point.
It's possible.
And what other EPL teams are there other than
City?
Well, not City anymore since they're Puma now. I mean, you have Spurs.
Liverpool is about to sign a Nike deal soon.
You have Spurs, and then Liverpool. I mean, Klopp would love him. Klopp would love him to death.
Right.
But
he'd
really
play him. I'm sure he'd play him.
Would Russian owners over there at Chelsea really want to see him go to Liverpool and give them more of a chance to win the league?
So probably not. And especially with Klopp, he'd make him a serious box-to-box player.
Which is why I questioned why Chelsea, when Liverpool probably was in the mix at that point, they probably didn't have to sign Origi to the deal they gave him. And that was probably just a deal because they couldn't get Christian in. Like in too many theories to throw out there.
The theory I have for the Liverpool is Origi helped them get to a Champions League final. It's kind of like they're like, here's your payback for, like a thank you deal, I guess.
Bro.
Something of the sort. And then, so we talked about who's in the pecking order in front of Pulisic. We also have, I think, Loftus-Cheek coming back, right?
Yeah.
Then you have Pedro still there?
Yes.
Yeah, he's still there.
And I'm sure he'll play Pedro before he does Pulisic, which is just ridiculous at this point. And as a fan of the Spain national team, it's cool to see Pedro, but Pedro's like past his prime. Pedro, it's just it's kind of like you just chuckle and you hope that he does good.
Yeah, he's still a good player, but I mean,
he's not speedy anymore.
Right.
And I feel like give it to my man Pulisic and let him become what Pedro once was, or something of the sort.
It's definitely something we're going to be talking about throughout the season, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We played this weekend. They play Southampton. For sure, he has to see the pitch again.
Bro, if he's not on the bench, it's gonna be another video.
If he's on the bench for the next 3 to 4 matches without seeing any game time, at that point, sound the alarm and start saying, "Move, find a move somewhere."
He's got to consider it at that point.
Yeah, well, definitely, the campaign will be locked and loaded. Just sending everything we can on it. All the ammunition that we can throw on Twitter would just be like, "Hey, Pulisic, pay attention to us. Get the hell out of there." Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna end the Pulisic talk there. Cross our fingers. Hope that he plays this weekend, and we'll see where we go. And if not, you'll hear about it again. Let's talk about Wolves really quick. They get to 3 points.
Yep.
Does Wolves continue to get 3 points, or was it just the fact that they play Watford?
I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you because I had Wolves. You know what I mean? The Wolves that I predicted about earlier in the season was not this team that we're seeing. And I don't know if I can really give them any credibility after Watford just got smacked 8-0. You know what I mean? And so maybe that's a game that they can use to get on track, get some confidence. They finally got 3 points. But I'm not confident in Wolves like I was in the beginning of the season. They actually look like Wolverhampton. You would expect a Wolverhampton team to look, mid-table, lower table type of team. But yeah, maybe this is a good game that they could maybe get back on track. But
we lost somebody.
We lost.
As far as them, me being confident in them trying to push up the table, I don't know. I've got to see them make some. They're gonna have to get some points here soon, some wins, not just points, but some wins.
Yeah, we'll check in a little bit just to see if they moved out of the relegation or they're still stuck there even with 3 points. What do you think, Sal?
I mean, it's still too early to call anything where top 8 teams are separated by what, probably 2 or 3 points at most, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's 4.
It's the Premier League this year is really wonky. I mean, we're not going to take City and Liverpool into that talk,
right?
but
Yeah,
the rest
they're in
of
a whole other league.
Yeah, the rest of the league is wonky. So if Wolves can pull together a string of wins, they can shoot themselves back up to top 6. So I'm gonna reserve judgment until week 10. By week 10, we'll know practically where every team is gonna land at this point from their playing style. Watford, we know they're gonna end up in relegation at this point in time. Let's just get them out of the way. Yeah,
bad. So
but
bad.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those up and downs. Like, who knows? I mean, after last season, we're all thinking, all right, top 16 for sure, maybe top 4 the way Arsenal and United are. But hey, better for Arsenal and United at this point.
Yeah, so the one less thing to worry about, I guess.
Yeah. So Wolves, hopefully they end up where I had them. I'm just gonna be biased. I want to get the best predictive table out of the 3 of us.
Right.
But hey, I guess all the draws that they piled up kind of helped them in this long run, because I'm pretty sure maybe these 3 points kind of helped them out a bit. And like you said, another win probably catapult them up a little bit more up the table. Yeah. And so when you look back on those draws, it's like, well, at least we didn't lose, because we probably be stuck where we were at just before these 3 points.
That is true.
So once again, round of applause to Wolves. Congratulations on your first win of the season. We can't say the same for Watford. We'll see if that ever happens throughout the season. The best they've had is a draw, and it's not looking good. So Watford, wake up. All right. What do we want to touch on? Do you want to go with Man City Everton or the Leicester drubbing against Newcastle?
I think the Leicester speaks for itself, so we don't need to cover that. The drubbing or bludgeoning.
The punching bag of the league.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with that because I gave them that at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, you did.
But Watford has now taken that title, but I'm going to keep it with Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
basically almost got an 8-0 on them.
Mm-hmm.
Watford will hold that title for the season so far. And then in a close second is Newcastle with the 5-0 loss to Leicester.
Yeah.
Did Vardy party have anything to do with that?
Vardy had 2 goals in that game.
That's the boy. He did bring the party.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Man City and Everton. Everton, since the Wolves game, that was such a thriller, and it sticks in my mind. I don't feel like they've stayed at that level. I feel like they slowly are declining, but in this game, they kind of brought that level, but it just didn't sustain through the 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel Jesus, great striker. I feel like he's gonna be a top Premier League striker. He's not there yet because
still really young too.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So he has the time, and he did deal with a couple injuries when he first came to the Premier League. But Aguero just basically telling him still like, yo, this is still my team. And, I give you your time, but, I'm going to show you who's boss still. And once Aguero came on, Man City kind of flipped the switch, and Everton totally just looked lost. And 3-1 could have been a little bit more because, Man City, once they get that possession, once they start flowing, once they start attacking your net, play after play, it's just anything can happen and they could just pile it on.
Right.
But Everton held on, and they just let 3. But to be honest, they should have done a little bit better, or they could have held at least the 1-1 draw.
Yeah,
I feel like. But
they were close.
Now, I'll ask you guys this: City is running because of Kevin De Bruyne. You take him out of that equation. If he goes out for at least 3-4 weeks because of injury, do they keep having these score lines against teams?
I'm gonna say yes. Sorry to interrupt, Jay. I'm gonna say yes because I remember reading something last season that KDB didn't have an assist for I don't know how many minutes or games or whatever the thing was, and they won the league last season. So is KDB a great player? Yes, class, world class, great midfielder, all the above. I think they could do without him for a couple games. I wouldn't say the rest of the season because then that would probably take a hit to Man City. But they got a lot of people, other people that can fill in. So
Right. That's where my point was going to go. I still think they can, just because the way that the team has been developed over the years, like they've got quality, like at every position, they've got quality. You know what I mean? Like De Bruyne goes out. David Silva's not the same David Silva, but he's still David Silva. You know what I'm saying? You put David Silva next to a Bernardo Silva with a Raheem Sterling, you know, things are going to happen out there. They have quality everywhere. Leroy Sané is going to probably miss majority of the season. Nobody said a word about him. And dude is quality. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think, like you said if De Bruyne goes down for maybe 4 weeks, they can survive a 4 weeks without him. They did majority of the last season without him. If I'm not mistaken, he was hurt for most of the season. He's a hell of a player, but the way that their system is, they just plug another dude in there, man, and just keep rolling. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
I will say that Riyad Mahrez goal was pretty. Like the way they set it up, the way they came up with the idea in the training grounds, and then just to perfection, just played it against Everton. It was just like it was funny because that foul happened. I'm like, man, I was like, you just gave him a goal basically because like Riyad Mahrez, anybody else that was on there, just they have great spot kickers that are free kick takers that can just dial it in from anywhere. And then the way you set up your wall, you dodge this way, you run that way. The goalie doesn't know where the hell the ball's coming from, and boom, that's exactly what happened. Pickford just looked lost. Goalie, basically. Like his coach was like, "Hey, you're gonna play goalie second half. Here you go," and he's just like, "Okay." What Pickford looked like out there.
Yeah, he looked like a deer in headlights, man.
And then to go off of that, Riyad Mahrez to me, I thought made the dumbest mistake leaving Leicester to go to Man City. And for the first couple of seasons, it kind of looked like I was correct, but slowly he's
fighting his way in.
He's fighting his way in, but he's just he's just showing you what he did at Leicester and more. And it's just I don't know why I have this thing in football that I call out somebody and they're just like, "Hey Mario, shut the F up." You know? Like how prove you wrong. These apples taste, you know? Like, damn, man. It's like I talk crap about Pepe, that he's gonna be the flop. Man's playing actually some really good football. And then Riyad Mahrez is like this past season and a little bit of last season is just like, yo, do you like what you see now? Like, come on, man. Like, give me some credit. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. You know, my bad, dude.
Yeah, man. And he's got really great players around him, so it just maximizes his ability as well. So they're fun to watch, man. I hate them, but that's a fun team to watch, bro. I have to admit it. They're fun to watch. I like
the best that money can buy. I mean, that's basically it.
Oil money.
Well, and then also paying off the FA, like getting away.
Oh yeah, anyway, you know what I'm
saying? They get away with a lot of things. They're like the Alabama of the Premier League. So
shots fired, Stephen. Shots fired.
So if anybody doesn't know, Alabama is a college football team here in America that everybody feels or knows that they get money to players. Yeah. So Man City keeps it rolling. The table's looking kind of tight. Before we get into the beautiful game that was on Monday, we're going to go over the table. We'll leave those two teams out of it. So, top 6. And my computer's going crazy. Liverpool in first. They are still undefeated to this point. Man City are in second. They are 5 points behind. So that's kind of a crazy gap. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot, But the way Liverpool keeps winning,
Exactly.
Man City has a big task at hand. And then 3, we have Leicester City. 4 is blank. 5 is the Hammers of West Ham. 6 is Tottenham. And that's your top 6. I'm sorry, Jess, not yet. Maybe.
We're 10th. 10th.
Okay, well, thanks for ruining the suspense.
Sorry.
That's ruined. The blank was Arsenal in 4th.
10. Man United, 10th in the league.
Arsenal in 4th, which I believe that's where I had them in my
that is
my preseason predictions.
Everybody but me.
Well, it's okay because your team has me looking horribly because I haven't heard.
Yeah, so did I, bro. So did I.
I'm looking here. I apologize. I'm looking down. Yeah, so I had Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal. So, yeah, I'm kind of there. Leicester City's kind of just like, hey, you forgot about me, but I didn't even think about you. So there's not really much to say. And let's really backtrack to Wolves. They went from relegation, the zone, to 13th, and they're sitting with 7 points. And like Sal said, another win, they're climbing up a little bit more because with 3 points this weekend, if everybody above them either stalls or even gains a point, they'll jump quite a few teams and tie. At least they'll tie Man United and Burnley if those 2 teams end up with a draw this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So Wolves slowly but surely climbing the ladder, and hopefully 6th place or even above. I'll take 6th place. But all right, so dun, da, da, da. Dun, da, da, da. That's the showdown music that I just magically came up with. So this past Monday, the 30th of September, the last day, we had Man United in all its red glory versus the Gunners of London. Who was home?
United.
United. So even better. You guys can't beat Arsenal at home.
Arsenal can't beat us at Old Trafford.
That's basically how it goes.
Yeah, that's what it is. They haven't won a Premier League game, and listen. First of all, I don't want to give credit to Man United at all. But Arsenal hasn't won a Premier League game at Old Trafford since 2006.
Mm-hmm.
So that stat continues. But again, I'm no way praising that team that Man United has right now. So
yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, back to you. Back to you. Oh.
I wouldn't praise them either because at least if I was a fan, because you're still stuck sitting in 10th. Those 3 points would look lovely, and what can you do? Sal, what do you got to say, man?
That first half. Oh my goodness. I'll address it with that goal, that first goal.
McTominay.
I don't care what if someone tries to defend Xhaka, I will fight you. Come and find me on Twitter. I do not care right now.
Oh my God.
Twitter handle's right there on the corner. Come and find me, defend him. I will tell you straight up, take his armband away from me. He's not captain material. The second you put your head down and close your eyes because the ball is coming at you, I'm sorry. Get off the field, man.
It's the captain, bro. It's the captain.
Bring in Ozil for all I care at this point.
Maybe that nose could have stopped it.
Hopefully, yeah, that nose could have stopped it. But honestly, all you have to do is jump, turn your head to the side. Just turn the head to the side. It's not going to hit your face. Turn your head to the side and let it hit your ear. Something. Maybe that ball doesn't go in. Maybe. But at least the deflection is there. Did the ball deflect before it went? I doubt it did. But that, god damn. I mean, stats show everything. I mean, United had 55% of the ball, even though it didn't look like it at times.
Oh my!
16 shots on goal. They were rolling. They were rolling in the first half. To where I thought, all right, it's United's game. They're gonna end up taking it. Second half comes on, Arsenal pick up steam. They start rolling and rolling. 2 instances in this game. First is the handball that United should have gotten. Now, who was that on?
I can't remember it, but
Yeah.
let's just blame Xhaka because it sounds like something he'd do. So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be him for now until we can see the replay.
But that should have been a handball. I don't know what VAR was doing. I don't know what they're doing up in the control room, but it should have been called a handball right away. The second one, at least VAR got it right, was the Aubameyang goal.
Mm-hmm.
What the official was doing on the side, I don't know. What if he had blown? Yeah, if he had blown the whistle, that's not a goal. It would have stayed 1-0. But thank God he didn't blow the whistle, and thank God players in Europe keep playing till the whistle. VAR has to be checked somehow. These officials have to figure out what's going on. But I mean, I can't praise any of these players. I can't praise nobody. They all were shit. Even Pepe came out and said on Twitter, yeah, my performance was bad, and I know I can do better, and I will do better. At least he's coming out and saying it. You have a Aubameyang saying the same thing. We didn't play our best. We sucked. So all I can say is if I were to rate these players, I'll give Leno an 8. He at least tried his hardest. David Luiz, I'll give him a -2 today. Just be kind because he almost cost us a goal. Papa, I'll give him a 5. Kolasinac, I'll give him a 2. I don't know where he was at. Chambers did all right. I'd give him an 8. Xhaka, get out of my team. Guendouzi, there is the star. There is the star.
He's gonna be a player.
And if they're not careful, he's gonna get bought out by another team and gonna go become better. And if Madrid is looking, Barcelona's looking, it doesn't, because somehow I feel he's gonna end up in Spain. Somehow. Torreira, Ceballos should have started. Ceballos should have started that game.
They look like a completely different team when Ceballos
came on. Yeah. Aubameyang, he gets a 7 at least. Saka did well, still for a young kid.
Mm-hmm. Turning Ashley Young inside out like a freaking stocking.
Other than that, Pepe rated himself. Yeah.
Oh my God. Bro,
But you know what? Pepe had Young going. I'm surprised he didn't turn Young inside out twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5. I don't know what he made Young look great that night. So
it's so mind-boggling, bro. I don't even know where to start. First, let's go back to the VAR stuff. The referee in that entire game was shocking, bro. He was terrible both ways.
What he's doing is why is he a Premier League referee?
I don't understand, bro. He's throwing the yellow cards out like. Anyways, whatever. I don't want to blame anything on the ref because as I titled this, the battle of the shit shows, that's exactly what this was. I'm talking about there was no quality out there. As Sal was saying, the first half, Man United actually looked like they were going to do something. But we can't finish. We can't finish. McTominay, sitter, header, should have been a goal. Pogba, header, should have been a goal. Pereira had 2 shots that were really good saves by Leno, their goalkeeper. But other than that, man, we don't create any chances. There's no creativity. Jesse Lingard, anonymous. Ashley Young, anonymous.
I'll say this. Rashford had the best chances.
Rashford.
He's not fit. If he was a fit Rashford, he had 2 to 3 great chances. 1 touch. Those would have been in. Game would have been 3-0 at halftime.
He's so out of form, man. He's so out of form and he's so injured. And you can see that he doesn't have any confidence whatsoever. So, just going forward, we're terrible, man. We don't create enough. Midfield's overrun. Pogba's playing so deep. Pogba's playing next to freaking Harry Maguire, might as well be. You know what I mean? He had a couple of decent runs, but he's playing too far away. Jesse Lingard, I love the kid, man. I watched him come through the academy. You know what I'm saying? I want him to do good, but he's not good enough to start games in the number 10 position for Man United. And how long do we have to continue to do this before something changes? Solskjaer still with the 4-2-3-1. Hasn't worked all season, but we're still running it. Players in the same position. Doesn't play people in the right position. I love the guy too, but he's scaring me, man. You in front.
So, so you don't like the 4-2-3-1. What would you like to see run?
I rather he run what we were when he first came in, when we looked like we were back 4-3-3. Let's do a 3-man midfield. Give Pogba more license to go forward where he could create for everybody else. Have Fred and McTominay play further back. And give Pogba the freedom to create on the other side of the pitch, not where he's picking up the ball from the center half and he has to dilly-dally on the wrong side of the field and either gets the ball stolen or he has to hit a world-class ball over the top. It's ridiculous. It's so frustrating because it's like, I get it. And the thing is, what I'm saying is Pogba is not playing bad in that deeper role, but we're not getting the best out of him because he's so far away from the freaking goal. He can't create anything. You know what I'm saying? We have no strikers. Mason Greenwood came on that game. Mason Greenwood just turned 18 yesterday. We're relying on this kid. Marcus Rashford looks like, honestly, like he's about to be burnt out. He's only 21, man. We're over-relying on him as well. It's just stressful. Like, you know that Spider-Man meme that you always see, like when they're pointing at each other? Basically, Arsenal and United were two clowns pointing at each other just like this. And the Field Talk pod even tweeted it. The game had draw written all over it. Two teams with terrible ownership, don't know where they're going to be. Arsenal has a couple more wins than us. They look better than we do. I hate to say that. You know, I take the piss out of Arsenal every chance I get, but they look better than we do, and that's not saying much because we're shit. And they're fourth, right?
I'll say this of Arsenal, they are still a shit show, but at least Emery has an idea of what he wants.
He has a style of play. We do not, and that's what I mean by that.
But he does not know the players that should be in their positions. He's still experimenting with certain players. His front line, he has it, but are there players in the midfield that can deliver to that front line? And that's the big question. Can still deliver to the front three like he did with Germany in the World Cup, and we saw him at Madrid, and Mario knows just what he was like in Madrid at that point.
Right.
But
superstar.
He hasn't proven that since he got a contract with money. Exactly. I'm not one to say bring in that oil money or that China money, but if you want these teams to go back into their rightful places they were over 10 years ago, 20 years ago, they need that money influx coming in.
I just don't feel Arsenal is that far behind though. Unai Emery is a manager that took Sevilla to the Europa League 3 times in a row. He won it 3 times in a row. He knows what he's doing. I do agree with you. He's fiddling around too much with the starting 11. So you don't really want to do that. And especially when you had Ceballos start 4 matches in a row, you guys were playing pretty well. You had that comeback against Villa, and he wasn't too much of a protagonist in that match. But as you mentioned, he comes on and he turns Arsenal into a different team. So why not start off with him? He does like to play a little bit back. He could be what Ozil was for Real Madrid. Ozil was a beast. Ozil was amazing. I fell in love with Ozil. I was shocked when I saw him go to Arsenal, and then now he's turned to, I don't know, something below mediocre. And
that's shocking, bro.
Yeah, it's horrible to witness. And then so you're missing pieces as well in Arsenal. So Unai Emery he's fiddling around too much with the starting 11, and then you have Bellerin still not there. Did Tierney even play?
No, but here's the thing: they played Saturday. They played with the U21s, both of them. So they were fit. They were set to go. I just don't know why they weren't playing.
Probably because they played with the 21s.
I don't know. I mean, I saw on Twitter that they had gotten game time, so that was probably it. But I saw on Twitter also that they're good for tomorrow's Europa League matches. So we'll probably see them tomorrow.
Thursday night football, baby.
So hopefully they get some playing time in the Europa League, and then once you have those 2 pieces in, your main concern at this point is David Luiz and Xhaka. Like, those are your 2 main problems. Other than that, you have a great trident. Once you have Lacazette 100%, you have Lacazette, Aubameyang, and Pepe. Pepe is, like I said earlier, he's showing me up. He's showing the Premier League what he did over in France. Yeah, but
he's debatable. Has to get accustomed to it because League On is nothing but no defense. There is no defenses in the to really. It's just, hey, come in and score as many goals as you can.
Well,
Really.
yeah, look at what Neymar did as soon as he came in. He was
Yeah.
literally just sambaing with everybody.
Yeah.
And so,
Dude was like doing all kind of tricks, bro. They were kicking him.
but basically, what it comes down to is, compared to United, you're just missing a couple of pieces when it comes down to it. So revamping the whole team or firing Unai Emery will probably be not in the best interest of the management of Arsenal, regardless of how crappy they are or not. Personally, I think Unai Emery is going to take him back to Champions League. At the moment, he has him there. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Ole is the one that's, would say, in a little bit deeper water at the moment. But hopefully with the injuries basically dwindling down, Justin's Man United can make a resurgence into the top 6.
It's not happening, bro.
I was just trying to be a little bit positive, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. You're right. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make a run. All we got to do is get Tony Marshall back, baby.
How is he looking?
Bro, he's been hurt since the 3rd game. We don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if he pulled a thigh or tore a hamstring or what, but he's been out. It's close to 8 weeks. Ollie said he's a doubt for Newcastle this weekend. So, I mean, we haven't had Shaw either. I mean, even then, I mean, we're playing with Pogba's playing injured. Pogba's been playing injured since Southampton, so he won't play tomorrow. I don't know, man. Because even sacking Ollie, like, even if we sack him, there's no structure, bro. It's just gonna be another guy that comes in that doesn't get backed by the board, that has to rebuild, shake and shuffle, and it's similar to Arsenal. Like I agree with Unai Emery being a good manager, but when is the last time Arsenal even had a transfer budget? Granted, they paid 88 million for Pepe, but who knew that? Before that, it was a $40 million transfer budget that we were all under the impression of. And the year before that, they don't spend. Arsenal doesn't spend any money. They could be back because they still play. I don't want to say exactly like how Arsene Wenger had them set up, but they still have a fluidity about them going forward that the Arsenal teams that I remember still have. But they don't back the managers. I mean, United doesn't back their managers. I mean, look, man, I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Well, you said they don't back the manager, but they had a 40 million cap, right? But they end up spending, with what we know, a lot more than that. And they actually paid 10 million to get Ceballos from Madrid.
Right.
And that's a loan. So they still paid. So that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah, but
so they're doing what they can.
Right, I hear you.
You have more money than we all know.
Yeah.
Here's my take on United is that if Ollie just lets them play free, just lets them play free-flowing games, that's the team that they are. They're not a team that's going to play out of the back. And I'll say the same with Arsenal. They're not a team that's going to play out of the back. But if both of these teams can play a free-flowing style of play where their attackers are allowed to move up and everyone else around them can work their magic, then we'll see these teams at least consistent top 4. But somehow they're getting the idea that, hey, we need to keep playing out of the back and playing in formations that just don't make sense for these players.
I agree 100% with that. It's just like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. When Ali came in, he completely changed the formation. We were running 4-2-3-1 under Jose. Ali comes in 4-3-3, Pogba free roll. Everybody just play, run, pass, triangles, And we went on what? We won 14 games. We drew 2. We went to Paris. We were done in that game, and we went and won that. And ever since then, it's like all the players just left. Like Ali left his managing ability there. The players left their playing ability there. I don't know, man. We have not been the same since that Paris game. Like, it's a completely different team, completely different style. It's depressing, man. But, I'm a diehard, man. So I believe Ali could turn it around. Is he going to get the time? That's a different story. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's rough. It's rough out here in these streets.
So, with that being said, let's see. Man U plays Newcastle, so hopefully you get in there.
That should be easy to punch at this point.
Bro, and they're the punching bag. You know what they'll do? When Man United comes there, they'll freaking look like City, bro. that's where our confidence is now. I'm not confident going into Newcastle. I'm calling it a 1-1. Can I do my prediction now? 1-1
1-1.
Newcastle.
Okay, Jay with the 1-1. And then for you, Sal, Arsenal plays Bournemouth. What do you see there?
2-1. 2-1. I mean, at Arsenal, their defense is still suspect. I mean, if Bellerin and Tierney can get a start, then I'll say 2-0. But at this point, I'll go 2-1 just because we don't know what the lineups will be at this point.
Okay. Then you also got to think with the Europa League tomorrow, if they play tomorrow, they might not play Sunday.
Right.
Or is that Sunday? Yeah,
It's definitely going to be
I
some.
mean, Bournemouth, we're still on the bottom of the table, right?
Bournemouth, I believe they're in relegation.
Yeah,
or
so
close to.
I mean, Emery can start his starters tomorrow.
No, Bournemouth is actually in 8th. Actually.
In 8th? Well, at that point, yeah.
Their last 3 games is win, draw.
2-1.
2-1. Okay, I'm gonna go for the Man U game. I'm gonna be positive for Justin here. I'm gonna go with a 2-0 Man U victory, and then with Arsenal, I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win for Arsenal.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal too for that one with Sal.
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 for United. I mean, they have to punch that.
Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Maybe if you guys are positive about my team, they'll do something. Unless I turn the negative cheek, like, hey, you guys aren't going to do anything. 1-1.
I'll definitely be able to watch that one, so I'm definitely going to, just so I can see my prediction come to fruition. Liverpool and Leicester City is somewhat the biggest game of the weekend. I don't see anything else. Oh, we got Wolves and Man City. Okay, we'll do Liverpool and Leicester City, and then Man City Wolves.
I like Leicester right now. I like them a lot right now. If Madison's back, do you know where they're playing? Are they playing in Anfield?
Anfield.
I'm going to go shocker. 2-2 draw. Liverpool drops points for the first time this year. 2-2.
2-2.
I'm the same. 2-2. I think right now Leicester is playing the best football that they can play. And after tonight's Anfield performance by Liverpool, we're seeing their defense is suspect now. So I can see Leicester just saying to themselves, let's go at them. Let's push them and go either for that draw or the win.
I'm going to go 1-1. Defensive. I'm going to say, okay, so Liverpool's having some suspect defense, but I'm going to say they're going to pull out a better defensive showing in this game. Leicester, even losing Maguire, is still shown they're pretty good defensively. So they're going to hold on their end, and I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Then we have the next game is Man City and Wolves. Okay, we definitely lost Justin there. So, bon voyage, Justin. All right, Sal. So Man City and we have Justin coming back.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm at the bottom now. Woo! Sorry about that, lads.
Okay, so we have the game at the Etihad, Man City and Wolves. Predictions, Sal.
Ooh, I am gonna go 2-1 to City. I think Wolves can use what this past performance as a jumping start for themselves. So I'll go 2-1.
2-1 Wolves with the shocker. So Man City and Liverpool might drop points this weekend. Jay, what do you got?
I don't know, man. I don't have faith in Wolves. I'm gonna go 3-1 City.
I was just about to say the same thing. As much as I want Wolves to win, I'm going to pull for them to win. But my prediction is going to be the total opposite, and I'm going to go with UJ. I'm going to go with the 3-1 victory for Man City. So we got our 4 games that we can look into next weekend. We talked about Pulisic. We talked about Wolves finally getting their first 3 points, and it's going to be a tough get this weekend, as we just saw. They have Man City coming up at the Etihad, which is not a very easy place to play at. And then we hit up the United Arsenal game. Beautiful game that it was.
Jokes.
And then so hopefully both of those teams can bounce back this weekend and get the 3 points. And we'll look into those next week. For those of you that may have stopped by and you watch this later, or for those watching it later, thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Click the like button, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned with us. Tomorrow we got the
Follow Field Talk _ Benzie at South Talk Soccer. Field Talk _ Field Talk, baby, coming at you all the time. New content. Sorry,
so there
I had
you
to
go.
get it in.
Follow us on Twitter. All our Twitter handles are there on the screen. Subscribe, click the bell. Stay tuned with us. As I was saying, UCL recap tomorrow.
Let's go, Salzburg.
We had some interesting games. My Madrid had almost a shocker.
Scary.
Almost a shocker. I'll take the 1 point. We'll get to that tomorrow. And then if you missed the beautiful game, the beautiful South American game last night, I feel horribly saddened for you because my beautiful River Plate that I cheer for in Argentina beat Boca Juniors in the South American Clásico, and it was a great sight. The next game, if you want to know, is October 22nd. Pay attention, watch it, please, enjoy. So with that said, good night, Sal. Good night, Jess, and everybody else. See you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.